I'm sure every basketball fan has this. They have a few players or prospects that they liked in college, or if you don't watch college basketball, you get a first chance to see the true prospects play as a rookie, and you latch on to rookies because you like their game or you think they'll project to be a really good player, and they end up becoming your favorite player to track. Well, one of mine is Patrick Williams of the Chicago Bulls, and Patrick Williams was somebody who I've honestly watched like 2 games of him when he was at Florida State, but when he was drafted 4th overall by the Bulls in the 2020 draft, I wouldn't say it raised eyebrows. I think a lot of people realized it was a gamble because of the upside, and you know, he already had a nice solid base just physically speaking as a 6'7", 215-pound wing player, 3-and-D type of player, and then I see him play his rookie year and I'm just like, this guy might have more potential than just being a 3-and-D player. And you know, he's really young. You know, his rookie year, everybody always does this with any 6'7", 215-pound type of wing player. They try to compare him to Kawhi. Some people have jokingly called him the paw. I don't see Kawhi in his game really, nor do I think he's ever going to be the defender that Kawhi was at his apex, but maybe in that archetype of this guy is going to be more than just a 3-and-D player. And the shot was something that was also questioned with him coming out of college, but his rookie year, he did show potential as a shooter. Now, it wasn't much volume. He shot 39.1% from 3 his rookie year, but he showed potential. But he also showed potential as just somebody who knew how to play off ball, which, you know, reading profiles of him and watching clips and all that stuff of him from his college days, that was something he had to do anyway because he was playing with other guys like Devin Vassell, etc. So, you know, he kind of displayed that his rookie year in Chicago. He didn't really need the ball much, and he survived shooting 39% from 3. But also, not only that, I saw some things with him like, you know, the way he got into his pull-up mid-range. Sometimes there were times where he would get into his pull-up mid-range where I'm just like, oh, I'm going to mark that down. That's the outline of somebody who can create their own shot, leverage their height, and leverage the shooting motion with their height to shoot over somebody. Oh, it's a 1-2 dribble. It was decisive, no hesitancy. And, you know, there were other times where like, oh, he knows when to cut. Oh, he knows when somebody else comes to the corner, he knows how to relocate to the wing 3. He kind of knows where to be. Like, he's raw, but he still has some feel for how to play basketball and knowing the geometry of the court. And then, of course, you know, his second year, he had that wrist injury and came back towards the end of the season and played in the playoffs. And the shooting numbers, you know, were outlier, small sample size type thing. And to start off this year, you know, he had a really bad first 8 games of the season. I think a lot of Bulls fans on the internet were mad from what I gathered. But since then, he has been playing really well. And I'm going to give you reasons as to why I will never quit a player like Patrick Williams, because I think he's going to be a good player. One, let's start off with the fact that he is super young. He was born on August 26th of 2001, and after, you know, gathering some information and counting the guys who were around that age or younger in this past draft, the 2022 draft, Patrick Williams is still younger than 32 players of the 2022 draft class, and he is younger than notable rookies such as Jalen Williams, David Roddy, Walker Kessler, Tari Eason, Keegan Murray, Ochai Agbaji, Andrew Nembhard, and those are all good rookies. So not only is Patrick Williams young, he's athletic, he has the build, he has the upside still. There's still untapped potential there, and he has displayed some flashes of that potential over the first, 130 games of his career. Like, at this point, we can say that he has the touch of being at least a catch and shoot shooter. He has explored taking pull-up threes a little bit this year, and he's shooting 36%, but he already has, and this is going into my second reason, he already has a solid foundation to at least fill out and expand his game, as opposed to, say, he got drafted on a team where he was forced to have the ball in his hands a lot, and he kind of has to just throw a bunch of paint on a blank canvas, so to speak. He's playing with guys like Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan. When he was a rookie, he was with other lottery picks like Lauri Markkanen, Wendell Carter, etc. Zach LaVine also too. And it was one of those things where he had to get in where he fit in. And he really didn't need the ball much his rookie year. He started all 71 games. He spaced the floor. He shot corner threes. When he got his touches, he was decisive with it. He moved the ball if something wasn't there. There was just an instant feel that I saw with Patrick Williams his rookie year that I just haven't quit since. And, you know, he's expanded a little bit more. I can tell he's starting to expand a little bit more, especially the last 10 games. Not so much the Charlotte game yesterday, which, you know, the Bulls offense, my God, just got really stagnant in that third and fourth quarter. And they let Terry Rozier just run rap shot all over them. But that's besides the point. But on catch and shoot threes this year, Patrick Williams is shooting over 41% from three. On the year, he's shooting 42% from three on 3.5 attempts per game. But, you know, you could see, like, you'll see in the clips on the screen, there are times where, you know, he knows when to cut. Like Vucevic will have the ball on the post or on the high post in the elbow, and he just knows when to time his cut, and Vuce will hit him with a drop pass. Or, you know, the Bulls are using him a lot more as a screener, as a power forward, or, you know, like yesterday in the Charlotte game, they were using Patrick Williams as the de facto center. He'll screen for DeMar DeRozan, and because DeMar DeRozan is a savage, they'll trap him, and DeMar DeRozan will find Patrick Williams rolling, and then he'll make, you know, 1 or 2 passes per game out of the short roll. You could just see little things in Patrick Williams' game that makes him more than a 3-and-D type of player. And by the way, like, the Bulls have, you know, they've used Patrick Williams in a variety of ways on defense. They'll put him on the best player, or they'll have him on, you know, the 4th or 5th option, and he'll wreak havoc from the weak side because he has good hands. I've seen him snatch stuff out of people's hands, just unsuspecting players when they grab a rebound or something. Patrick Williams will be right there to just snatch it out of them, which is why he kind of got that nickname, the paw instead of the claw. Or, you know, he has the big body, so he won't get bodied as much by, you know, a similar sized player. He could kind of stay in front of the quick guards too. Like, there's a lot of rawness there, like as you saw with the start of the season. But one major thing I've seen with Patrick Williams this year is he's driving a bit more. But not only that, he's figuring out how to use his body, because he has an NBA ready body already, and he is just moving dudes out of the way. There are some times where he won't finish through contact or finish the layup, but he is using his body. He's drawing contact a bit more. There's just a lot to like with Patrick Williams, and the feel for the game, the passing that he does. Like, he's not, you know, obviously he doesn't have the highest usage on the Bulls team, but, you know, when he has the ball in his hands, it's quick decisions. And then the pull-up middy that I mentioned, and, you know, I saw this his rookie year. It's at max, it's 3 dribbles. Usually it's a 1 to 2 dribble. He's getting to his spot and using his body to pull up when he gets the chances. Remember, he's playing with Vucevic, LaVine, DeRozan, and, you know, there's very few opportunities. But when he gets the ball in his hands, if somebody closes out on him, it's a quick decision, drive to the basket. You're either going to get into your pull-up, or you're just, if nothing's there, you're just going to dish it off, reset. Patrick Williams is not one of those guys that takes a lot of time with the ball in his hands, and I think that's already a solid foundation for a player that has also shown flashes of a lot of potential. Like yesterday in the Hornets game and a few other games throughout the year, he'll post up and he has a little nice post fadeaway. If a team plays zone against the Bulls, he'll flash to the middle and he'll make a nice pass here or there. I mean, there's just a lot of things that I like about Patrick Williams, and, you know, after the slow start to the season, I'm glad he's righted the ship, because he has a lot of untapped potential, and he hasn't displayed the potential enough to the point where a big contract extension off of a rookie deal is a no-brainer, but I do think the Bulls have a chance here to capitalize on giving him an extension. He should be extended, but if the Bulls, look, and I'm all about players getting their money, but organizationally, if the Bulls wanted to capitalize on somebody who, quote unquote, gives a player a good deal, Patrick Williams would be the perfect candidate because he has displayed just enough for everybody to be intrigued by his potential, and he already has a solid base already as a player, but also has displayed some creation flashes that are intriguing to me, at least. I don't know how Bulls fans feel. Maybe I'm overstating it a little bit. Maybe I'm too infatuated with Patrick Williams as a player, and I've read some stuff about how he played point guard in high school, and it makes sense. He doesn't make plays like a player who didn't have the ball much in college or whatever. And also, it seems like he has good character and work ethic. I read a profile on him where he basically asked the Florida State coaching staff, when he was being recruited, can you teach me how to play defense? And this was after he was, a high-level recruit as a point guard in high school. And, if I could see the point guard feel in his game, but also just, you want to bet on somebody who has that work ethic, that want to expand your game and learn more and realize that there is more to basketball than just having the ball in his hands. And Patrick Williams has displayed that as an off-ball player, and as a, already I think you could just see the upside with him defensively. And while the metrics might not be in his favor, when you watch film, you could just see him make plays. You could see him communicate with players also. It's just the Bulls are a very up and down team right now. But in terms of like infrastructure for development for a player like Patrick Williams, who is raw athletically, but you could tell knows how to play basketball, this is a perfect spot for him to develop because he is already surrounded by players that are, for now, better than him. So he has to find his role. And I believe in players who have that type of mindset, the willingness to find where they can fit in. And then when they get their opportunities, they make the most of it, but they make it decisively. I do think the Bulls have a chance to sign him on a good deal that benefits them because I think this guy has a lot of untapped potential as a not only just a 3-and-D wing, but just, a really good, maybe potential two-way star.